So today's project is getting the 14-foot Summer Waves Elite pool set back up for the summertime. So my pool itself was actually stored in the little box, and all the frame pieces and the pump was stored in the larger box. As you can see, I've got some mulch piles around the pool. I'll spread that out once the pool's all set up. So I've done a video on actually how to set up the pool and how to level the base, but one thing I did a little different this year is I have foam pads underneath of the tarp, and it's actually leveled with sand underneath and then tamped down, so it's really nice and level. And with the foam pads, it will make it nice and soft on the base of the pool. So just a little tip when you are setting up your pool, when you're putting your poles through, if your pool's warm to the touch, it makes it a lot easier sliding your pool poles through. If not, they seem to get actually stuck in the pool material. So let the pool warm up a bit in the sun before you start putting all your poles through. So we've got all the poles on. It's much easier doing this with two people. That way when you're putting one side in, the other person can hold the other one up, and then you have to put in your clips and make sure to slide them right in between here. And I'm starting to fill it up. We'll see how long this takes. Again, when I was putting the pool together, I made sure everything's level on the base, and I went around with a level too around the outside edge just to make sure it's level this way and it's level in that direction and every other direction too. And then when it starts getting filled up, probably about halfway, you want to make sure you go and readjust all your posts to make sure that they're vertical and not leaning one way or another. And another thing I'm going to try this year is putting some little blocks of wood, just little 1x6 underneath some of the posts in the area that's typically lower on the pool. That way it gives it a little wider footprint at the bottom. And the pump's all installed. So once the water reaches the inlet, we'll get the pump turned on, and we'll get a bag of they call it socket. It's a chlorine I get from either Walmart or Costco. So once the water fills up, we'll get the pump going and put in some chlorine. So there's a little over 2.5 hours. So it's got quite a ways to go. It takes a little over 3,300 gallons of water, and that's been running for 2.5 hours, full blast through the garden hose on city water, so it's really good pressure. So you're looking at probably another 7 or 8 hours. So the pool's all filled up. It actually took about 13 hours. Again, it's just over 3,300 gallons, and that was filled up with city water here in our city, which is partially chlorinated. A little bit of debris in it. It hasn't been covered since I've set it up, so I'll cover it up tonight. I've got a few videos in my pool video series, and a lot of people ask what type of treatment I use. I actually use a socket. It's a shock treatment. Get this through Walmart or Costco. It's usually just over $4.95 or so a bag, and I put roughly 1 in a week, and it's 454 grams. And the type of filter that I use, see, I purchased these last fall, the regular $12.98 on for $9. It's type A/C, and I clean the filter every 2 days. So now that it's all set up, what I did, well, there's my filter and chlorine. What I did is I went around the base, and I made sure that the wood below the legs wasn't touching the pool. So there's about 1 inch between the wood and the bottom of the pool. So I just checked that on each leg, as well as I made sure that all the legs are vertical. Sometimes if you don't check them, they'll be leaning over a little bit one way or the other. And if you're from Canada, We usually have a hockey net hidden somewhere. So just checking the outside of the pool. Again, I'll push the tarp in a little bit. That just protects the base. So before I get the cover put on, I'm going to add my chlorine. What I usually do is I'll put it in my hand and kind of whisk it across the pool. That way I get it all on the surface instead of just, I've seen some people actually just dump it in like that, and what happens is it will settle to the bottom of your pool and will actually stain your liner. So again what I typically do is I put it in my hand like this and throw it on the surface, and I'll do that all the way around the pool, again to get a nice surface of chlorine, and it will slowly start settling. And make sure your pump's on, because that will help circulate the chlorine. So the chlorine's all in, and again I'm on city water. What a lot of people will do is actually buy test strips to test your water. Now again, with the chemicals I'm using, just that one bag, I'll put that in weekly, and my water will typically stay nice and crystal clear. Again, make sure you clean out your filter every 2 days. You can pop it out and rinse it. I actually have that in one of my videos on this pool. And also make sure any debris you get in your pool to clean it out. Again, I set this up and it's been exposed to some of the trees, so I'll have to clean out the pool once the chlorine's nice and circulated. And once it's circulated, I'll install the cover, and then I usually take the cover off during the daytime to let the water warm up and get the sun at it. So it's been about 2 hours since we've put the chlorine in, and we just installed the cover. It's a little bit overcast there now, and it's getting fairly late. It's about 8 o'clock. And tomorrow we'll uncover it, and we'll get all the debris and stuff that's in there cleaned out. And again, I'll clean out the filter tomorrow, just because some of the debris did get caught in the filter. And with these covers, a lot of people have issues putting them on by themselves. It is a pain, so the easiest way is get one person on one side, one person on the other, and slowly start making your way around. This is my second year with this cover, and I'll be honest, it was fairly hard to get on. It almost seems like it shrank, but again, once the sun gets to this, hopefully it will stretch out a little bit, as it's been rolled up all winter. Anyways, guys, just a short video on my Polygroup Summer Waves Elite. Again, this is a 42-inch deep by 14-inch pool, and I have several other videos on setting this up, how to maintain it, and whatnot. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you post them below, and make sure to check out the playlist for the above ground pool that I have. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.